Hey you all, welcome back to the vlog. My name is Kyle Bethune with Being Bethunes, and today we're not at the bus. As you can see behind me, I got the van. You can kind of see Cracker Barrel over there. Yeah, since we decided to stay a few extra days in North Florida, me and Kevin hopped in the van and took off to Georgia and doing some exploring. So we spent last night here in this parking lot here in Albany, Georgia, the Cracker Barrel. Had us a nice little spot here in the back of the building, parked under a street light right there, but had a nice sleep, pretty peaceful for the most part. This road behind me that you see cars passing by on now is pretty inactive during the night, not much traffic. I did have one camper neighbor over there that was there before I got here, and then there was a camper van parked over here in the middle of the night. But I did have dinner at Cracker Barrel last night, and it was pretty dang delicious, so I gotta get packed up this morning and get a move on. Oh yeah, we're pulling out of the Cracker Barrel parking lot.
Onto Arkwood Drive.
Yep, gotta turn right.
Onto Northwest over Boulevard.
I am looking to secure a cup of coffee. I'm a little tired. Man, I've gotten so, ever since the time change, I've been so groggy in the morning, so it really takes me, you know, it's already 9:39 according to the clock, and I've been awake for a good bit, but man, it really takes me a while to get going.
At the next traffic lights, turn left.
I don't know. Like I say, ever since the time change, I've just been so tired in the mornings. But anyways, guys, we're going to go around and see some things. I'm not going to get too far away. I do plan to go back to Madison tomorrow, which is Wednesday. And so Thursday we're going to be packing up, taking care of some final preparations, and that way we can leave Friday morning and start making our way westward. So I don't exactly know too much of what I want to do today. There's some pretty cool Atlas Obscura stuff a little bit north.
Traffic lights, turn left onto Nottingham Way.
A little bit northwest of here, so I may go check that out. Not 100% sure though. A game plan. I would like to find a pretty good camping spot for tonight. Whatever that means. Maybe just an upgrade from Cracker Barrel. I think that would be suitable for me. But I'm not complaining. I don't mind Cracker Barrel. I've slept at many Cracker Barrels in various parts of the U.S. So first I need to grab some coffee and kind of put a plan together. So I have secured myself an ice cold caffeinated beverage from the Element Coffee Company here in Albany. Not bad, very high ratings. They had like 4.5 stars for like 150 reviews, so pretty dang good. Pretty good cup of coffee. I do have a call I have to make here in a little bit, but I think I'm gonna start heading my way toward Columbus, Georgia. There's something along the way there I wanna check out. I think you guys would get a kick out of. So me and this guy are gonna hop on the road here and try to cover a few miles. So our first stop brings us to the town of Lumpin, Georgia. Here's the kind of the main street area of Lumpin, Georgia. Doesn't seem to be a lot going on here. The old library there looks like it's been closed, and I must say most of these businesses looks like they've been closed for many years. No main road in or out of this place, so you kind of just have to stumble upon it. There's the Stewart County Courthouse there, but that's not why we're here. We've actually got to drive out of the downtown area here a little bit, and it's kind of a little hidden gem here in Lumpkin apparently. We're gonna go check it out. Me and Kevin are out on a little walk this morning, and Lumpkin, Georgia offers this right here, guys. Providence Canyon. They're calling it Georgia's Grand Canyon. Look at that thing. My God, it said there's certain depths up to 150 feet down. Apparently there's 5 or 6 of these things kind of all intertwined through this area here. Providence Canyon in Lumpkin County, Georgia. Georgia's Little Grand Canyon is a testament to the power of man's influence on the land. Massive gullies as deep as 150 feet were caused simply by poor farming practices during the 1800s. Yet today is said to be some of the most beautiful photograph spots in the state. It's pretty spectacular. You know, you're kind of driving through a very woodsy area, and you do start to see a little bit of hills and elevation, and then all of a sudden you've got these canyons. I wasn't going to bring Kevin along on this trip, but thought it'd be nice to have a companion. You know, it's kind of tricky with van life. With an animal, you know, you're in and out, you're doing so much, you know, but the weather is pretty spectacular today. Well, actually it's not. It's very gloomy and windy. Temperature-wise, though, it's not bad. So Kevin gets out sometimes, or he has gotten out sometimes today, and sometimes he's sat in the van and kind of just hung out. But I think that's gonna finish up my time here at Providence Canyon. Pretty cool. I'd love to, they have a lot of hiking trails. I'd love to come back sometime and do that. I guess you can hike down in the canyon and hike to various different canyons. That's pretty cool. Georgia, I think Georgia State Park, they have some spectacular state parks in the state of Georgia. I've been to several, and I can say they are pretty fantastic. They do have some backcountry camping options, and I think they have something called pioneer camping. Not 100% sure what that is. I think, but yeah, pretty cool. Georgia State Parks rule. They're pretty awesome. $5 admission, parking for the day. Not a big deal. I'm sure you can buy a pass for probably 40, 50 bucks to get you in all of them, but we're gonna go in one more today. I'm not gonna quite tell you yet where that is, but we're gonna hop back in the Jeep. We're pretty close to the town of Columbus, and we'll grab some lunch. Well, apparently we're making a little small jaunt into the great state of Alabama. What do you guys think? I don't know, I wasn't expecting to visit the great state of Alabama today. I don't think I'm gonna be here long though. Sweet home Alabama. Tell me you're in the South without telling me you're in the South. Well, unfortunately, it has started to rain. We're still in Alabama, surprisingly enough. I sure figured I'd be back in Georgia by now, but definitely not my favorite thing to do in the van. Let me show you why. The windshield wipers are complete trash. I know it's hard to tell on camera. It looks much cleaner than it is, but basically they just spread the water across. So I may be stopping here pretty shortly to see if I can pick up some new wiper blades, because man, it makes it pretty hard to see. The problem, the reason I haven't replaced them now is it takes a very, of course, being Mercedes, takes a very specialized wiper blade, and not just anywhere sells them, and they're very expensive. And also, they're not very easy to change, but I think I'm at the point where I don't really have much of a choice. The rain has definitely set in a little bit, but we are here at the Castle gas station. I believe I'm still actually in Alabama. We gotta fill this van up with some diesel. Diesel is $3.95 a gallon here. I haven't put any fuel in the van in quite some time. So apparently I can't pay at the pump. All right, let me run inside, pay real quick. I'll be right back. So they made me prepay, and I couldn't just leave my card up there. So I put 80 bucks in, gave me just over 20 gallons. And according to the fuel gauge, it filled it up. So 80 bucks, $3.95 a gallon. I haven't put diesel in this thing in a while. I didn't realize diesel had got up that much. Well, the next stop on today's adventure brings us here to Columbus, Georgia, and more specifically than that, to 13th Street Barbecue. It says home of the original pork chop sandwich. I'm about to head in here in just a minute. It is lunchtime, so this place is packed. And get some food, bring it out of the van, and give it a shot, and I'll let you know it's good. Let you guys know what I think. All right, I secured the order super quick. I went in there, ordered within 5 minutes. I had my food, so got a bag full here. So let's dig into it. All right, I'm not gonna mess around. I'm gonna go ahead and go in with the world famous pork chop sandwich. It has a hot barbecue sauce on it and some barbecue slaw. So let's give it a shot. Nice. I mean, it's probably good half-inch pork chop in there. It smells amazing. Wow. That is fantastic. Man, that's good. Lord, help me. So next up we got some Brunswick stew. I've had it one other time before. I know it's a pretty big thing here in Georgia, really in the South in general, I guess, but looks kind of like a chili of sorts. It's got some corn in it. I don't know, let's give it a shot. It's hot. Ooh. Wow. That's good. It's like a barbecued chili. That would be my best way to describe it. It's fantastic though. Man. Slap your mama. Woo. All right, next up I've got their potato salad. I'm not a huge potato salad guy. I will eat it on occasion. I kind of want something, a cold item to eat because everything else I bought was hot. This looks like a southern potato salad, which is typically my least favorite. We're gonna try it anyway. Definitely southern potato. I just don't like it. It's sweet. They use like a dill relish. It definitely has mustard in it. The dill relish does it. I'm sorry. It has a sweet relish in it. I wish it had dill relish. I'm sure it's fine. I'm not a huge potato salad person, so I don't really want to call this one. It may be for people that like potato salad, it could be very good. Next up on the list, I got some barbecue slaw. It looks like a coleslaw covered in barbecue sauce. So I don't know. That's a pretty simple explanation right there. Looks pretty good. That's pretty good. It's a more of a vinegary type barbecue sauce. So it's like a vinegary slaw. I like it. Never had anything like this before, but I do like it. I do like coleslaw though. It's pretty unique. Then, of course, if you know me, I'm gonna get some French fries. Just crinkle cut, deep fried French fries. They're hot, good crunch. Okay, can't beat them. All right, so let's go ahead and rate this place. I do 4 categories: food, decor, service, and overall value for the buck. They up to 5 points each for a potential of 20 points. Food, I gotta give it a 5. Honestly, that pork chop sandwich is one of the best sandwiches I've ever had in my life. That thing was amazing. It was smoked right. It was juicy. The sauce and the slaw just took it over the top. Honestly, top 5 sandwich for me of all time. Definitely a 5 there. Decor, it's a barbecue restaurant. You don't really expect much. It's clean. The place is clean. Nothing fancy. It's just a brick building right off of 13th Street here in Columbus. I gave that a 3. Really, it is what it is. Service, I gave it a 5. She was fantastic. I walked in, within a few seconds, she was there asking for help or willing to help. I ordered my food. It's a counter style, so you order it and you just wait for it. And within 5 minutes, I had my food ready to go and everything was hot and fresh. Value for the buck, I give it a 5. Here's my receipt. I spent $12.57 for all that. That includes a sandwich and 4 small sides. I did not get a drink. I came to the van and grabbed a Waterloo. Like, I would have paid $12.57 just for the sandwich, much less those sides, which are all freshly homemade and really fantastic. Absolutely a 5 for the value. Where can you eat? Yeah, I can't even go order McDonald's for 12 bucks. Heck of a value. That gives me an overall score of 18. Absolutely come here if you're within 100 miles of Columbus, Georgia, and you are craving some barbecue or a killer sandwich. I don't know that you'll find a better spot. 13th Street Barbecue, I'll be back. Strangely enough, I did find the wiper blades. I went to the O'Reilly Auto Parts here in Columbus, and they come as a kit, so you get both of them together, the right and the left. Bosch brand. They were actually cheaper than I thought. I've heard these things were really expensive, which $46.99 with tax, they were $51.22. I was expecting closer to $100 because Mercedes stuff is usually outrageous. So I think I'm just at the point where they got to be replaced. So I actually going to throw them on there right now. So I watched a YouTube video on these, and apparently you just push them forward. The way he did is he would push them forward, and there was like maybe I'm going to have to watch another video. He said you push it forward, and this outer piece, maybe waiting to do this till later. Yeah, I'm gonna wait to get to my spot later and I'll do this. I kind of just stumbled across this place and it's raining, so I'm gonna go ahead and get in there real quick. All right, so we have made our way in here. This is the Columbus Collective Museums. I spoke to the gentleman who kind of curated all this, and yeah, I'm excited. I just basically saw the Lunchbox Museum, but you also have the Royal Crown Cola Museum, the Chiro Cola Museum, the Knee-High Drink Museum, the Tom Houston Peanut Museum, the Georgia Radio Museum, and the Car Museum. So I think we're going to start our time off here in the Car Museum. Got a 1934 Ford Chariot here. Beautiful piece. Under the winged hood is a crate 350 Chevy engine. I know that I've known that they typically put Chevrolet engines in these things. once they restore them for whatever reason. I don't really understand. I know Chevrolets are typically cheaper to do or to work on and to build. It's like some type of old panel, not really a panel van, but some type of van here. They're calling it a 1937 Ford panel delivery truck. 28,000 actual original miles. It was purchased from the original owner. Wow, that is a cool piece right there. That is something else. And they got this old Tesla over here, 2008 Tesla Roadster. I don't think I've ever seen one of these. How cool is that? In 2009, this Roadster set a world record for electric vehicle production, 313 miles on a single charge. I don't recall ever seeing one of those before. It's a nice looking piece right there. So this right here, this buggy here is an 1898 Pontiac carriage. It was made by the Pontiac Buggy Company in Pontiac, Michigan. Wow. That is something. 1898. Look at that. Unbelievable. And then you have Chief Pontiac here, which is a statue, which was commissioned in 1950 by General Motors as the mascot for the Pontiac Motor Vehicle Company. Here we got a 1951 Pontiac Chieftain Coupe. Looks like this was a race car of some sort. It's got Riverside Speedway down there on the lower door there. NASCAR Grand National, 104 horsepower. Wow. Now I think the Cup cars are probably over 700-800 horsepower at this point. See, they look an old, they got a 1955 Thunderbird, 312 original engine. Wow, that's a beautiful car. And he was really excited to tell me about this one. They did a frame-off restoration on this. This is a 1953 Airstream Bubble, only one of 3 known in existence today. Complete off-the-frame restoration. This is supposedly the smallest Airstream that Airstream ever made. Let's pop our head in here real quick and check it out. Yeah, it's tiny. I mean, I would say that thing can't be more than 10, 12 feet. Oh yeah, wow, this is cool. What a neat trailer. I love how they kept this polished aluminum skin in here. What a cool little camper. It's got a nice bed back here going across the back. Definitely not gonna, I think it'll be fine for me and Kevin. I mean, in our travels, I think me and Kevin will be fine in it. It's got a nice kitchen here, well-appointed kitchen with a time period retro refrigerator there. I like that. And a retro style microwave. That's a nice piece. They did install a Dometic roof AC unit on it, which being in Georgia, I can't say I blame them. That's a cool piece. Got a nice collection of the old gas pump signs up there. Some really like pristine looking signs. I don't know if they're original or if those are reproductions, but nonetheless, absolutely beautiful. Right here you got a 1959 Chrysler 300 convertible. Straight out of the 50s. Got those huge wings on the back, or those huge fenders that definitely show the era of the 1950s for car production. It's like right here we've got a 1960 Plymouth Fury convertible. That is a beauty right there. Absolutely gorgeous car. So I was making my way through the car section here, and this right here he pointed out to me, it's the Michelin Man sitting on top of an air compressor. He said dates back to 1930. So air compressor, he's got it hooked up to the tire here on this old Plymouth. I'm sorry, on this old Ford. And it's got the Michelin Man in there blowing it out of his mouth. It's pretty cool. He said that is a pretty rare piece. I definitely would imagine. I definitely could see that. All right, so then we're going to go in here to the Lunchbox Museum. I'm pretty excited. This is actually the first thing I saw online that was here, is this right here. I believe there's over 5,000 pieces in here, and they said if there's any duplicates, they will sell them. So it's a very quiet room also. I'll walk through here and just kind of check it out a little bit. That's a cool one there, Return of the Jedi. That is pretty sweet. I actually got the Empire Strikes Back there, Star Wars, and they have the duplicate of it over here. That's pretty neat. I probably don't even want to know how much that is. Got some cool ones here. The $6 Million Man there. taking out some guys with a tree. That's a cool one. Pele there, and it's got the lunchbox here, and the Brazilian soccer player. It's got it's the thermos with it. 1975. That's cool. I bet that is rare too. Got this old Disney one here. That's pretty cool. Aladdin Industries, Nashville, Tennessee. Actually, this one's for sale. $92 for that one right there. Got the Magic Kingdom in the background. Got the monorail going across there. This must be a pretty rare one here. The G.I. Joe, a real American hero. I've seen a couple of these in there, and this one here's for sale, 160 bucks. I would venture to say that's probably a pretty rare piece. Yeah, there's one there. They have another one right here. This one's $145. I guess this one actually looks a little newer, maybe either a little newer or in better condition. Wow, I've never seen that one before. Star Wars with an X-Wing fighter on it. Got a TIE fighter in the back. That is cool. That thing's, what a neat piece. That one's not for sale though. So they've got some plastic ones here. I mean, they're definitely old. Let me know down in the comments section, guys, if you know. I don't know a lot about these things. I know they're valuable and I know they're rare. But what were the plastic ones? I'm assuming those post-date the metal ones was this something they came up with? Or, I don't know. I'm just curious. I've never seen a lot of the plastic ones, and he has this particular shelf here that has nothing but plastic ones. No, this is a great one. This scene where stormtroopers are trying to get to Luke there, and Obi-Wan uses his the Force to gain access. So here's the Royal Crown Cola, aka RC Cola section of the museum. I haven't had an RC Cola in many years. Got some pretty old signs in there. I love this display. Move down a little further. They got knee-high soda in here, knee-high orange. I remember when knee-high was a pretty big thing. I was always a fan of the knee-high peach soda. That was always my favorite. Many years of RC Cola calendars in here. Looks like they go, let's see, 1960 right there. Wow, that one's cool. It's got most all the 70s, the 80s. I'm sure these are famous people on them. I don't, or maybe not. Maybe it's just models, because I don't. Let me know. Is that Daisy Duke? I mean, I never really watched that show too much. Y'all guys have to let me know. Wow, look at this one. Knee-high drink calendar. 1939. May of 1939. Wow. So apparently this gentleman here, Claude Hatcher, was he came up with the Chero Cola, and in the I believe it was 1910, he said Coca-Cola sued him for the cola portion of the name, and he ended up, 17 years, it ended up losing the rights to that, and he just changed it to Chero. And he started this here in Columbus, Georgia. The gentleman that owns this place just told me all about it. I guess his parents, Claude Hatcher's parents, owned the Hatcher grocery store here in Columbus, and that's where he started mixing his drinks. He was a pharmacist, and he was mixing syrups. He was actually buying his syrups from Coca-Cola at one point, and then they cut him off, and that's when he started what would come to be known RC Cola. And then in here, he actually built a replica of the store where Claude, developed his recipe. Absolutely fantastic. He said he bought out an old house somewhere here in middle Georgia, and took all the insides, like I guess all the cabinetry, and it was like a 1900s house, and then brought it in here and kind of turned it into a replica of the store. He's telling me about these here. They would keep syrups in these, buttermilk and stuff like that in the store, and he said these are original from the early 1900s, Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Wow. He said these things are worth thousands now each. What an interesting experience. Oh wow, looks like they got an old-timey cappuccino maker back there. That's a beauty. I can't say I've ever seen one that old. He was telling me today RC Cola and Knee-High were purchased by a company out of the Philippines, but they do still bottle it here in Columbus, Georgia though, which I found to be pretty interesting. Pretty interesting history right there. He says he told me this is the largest Chero Cola display in the world. I'll show you one more thing in here and then we'll move on to the next section. So this drink box right here came from an old general store near where I grew up in what was called Peachtree City. Mr. Dave McWilliams was the owner, and I was just a kid and I loved it. So he told me that when he passed away I could have it. So this is the only Chero Cola bottle display or bottle cooler known in existence. This thing is spectacular. It's just the condition it is unreal. So as we exit the Chero Cola section, this is their radio museum that they have here. I have to do some digging around and kind of see what it's all about, but looks pretty good. First interactive billboard east of the Rockies. It's got like a tape deck on the, for like a car tape deck on there where the light up sits the Beatles. I love that. Got some of these old radios right here. Philco. That one's beautiful. Got a General Electric one right there. Westinghouse. Another Westinghouse one right there on a wooden box. Freaking cool, man. Zenith. I know that's was a popular brand at one time. Got a little tribute to the king over here. King of rock and roll, Elvis Presley. Got some pretty cool stuff in there. Got a couple, some old albums up here on the wall. Jim Davenport, Billy Joe Royal, Columbia Records. Here's one of Elvis's right here. This special edition gold-played record is in recognition of the prestigious achievement in reaching million-seller award status. Wow, that's pretty cool. Here's something you don't see much of anymore. Some handheld radio devices. Got an old Sony Walkman there. I was watching Apollo 13 last night. I could have swore they had one of those just like that in there. These are pretty cool. I believe I had that yellow one right there. I think a lot of us had that yellow one right there. That Sony Walkman Sport. It's supposed to be a little more robust and handle the elements a little better. That's a pretty neat piece right there. Woodstock 94 Winton Farm. Sagittarius, New York? I don't know, I probably said that wrong. And Metallica headlining, Crosby, Stills and Nash, Aerosmith. Wow, look at they got Joe Cocker, 9 Inch Nails, the Cranberries. That's pretty cool. 135 bucks. That was a lot of money in 1994. 2 more days of peace and music. I love that. So this section here, they're calling the Tom Houston's Peanut Museum. I don't know this, but I'm going to say that is the same as Tom's Potato Chips. They got a glassed off display here with a bunch of Tom's memorabilia and Tom's stuff in here. Got an old, I don't know if that's like a peanut sorting machine. I'm not 100% sure. Oh, that's cool. They got a roasted peanut vending machine over there. That's pretty sweet. Yeah, they got all these potato chip bags in here. So I'm going to assume that Tom's they're talking about, in this day and age, typically sells potato chips. Here's an old Tom's vending machine there. Look at that thing. Looks like it hung by the these things here, and it would swivel. They would swivel off or screw off there. So in here, they said they just kind of set this section up somewhat recently as a folk art section here. Got a bunch of paintings and drawings here on the wall. Got a bunch of jugs and stuff down there on the ground and up on this wall here. I don't know a whole lot about folk art, but I do find it fascinating. Painting right there. Look at that guy. Wow. Wow, guys, that spectacular. The gentleman that owned the place was nothing short of just awesome. His granddaughter helps him run it. He's been collecting this stuff his entire life. Get back in the car and talk a little more. It's wet out here. But he's been collecting since he... Oh my gosh, Kevin's in here. Oh, buddy, Kevin, what's up, buddy? But he was in the radio business. He said he owns some radio stations here in Columbus, Georgia. He's been here his whole life. What a freaking... This is why I do this, man. This is what gets me fired up. Wow. I love it. That was amazing. I hope you guys... I know I filmed a lot, and this is probably a long video. I haven't even edited it yet, but I'm going to go ahead and guess. It's going to be a long video, but I'm really glad I stopped there today. Well, we have made it to our accommodations for this evening. The rain is still rearing its teeth at us, and not too late. It's only about 4:30, but I figured I'd come check in. We're at the F.D. Roosevelt State Park here in Pine Mountain, Georgia. From what I can tell, it seems to be pretty spectacular. I do plan on getting up and doing a hike in the morning, so you'll definitely be there for me with that one. But I think that's going to do it for today for me and Kevin. What a magnificent day. I mean, I had an absolute ball seeing Providence Canyon, the freaking pork chop sandwich, checking out the awesome museum back there. You know, I'd planned on spending a lot of time outside today, but with the rain, it got me looking for things indoors, and I ran across that museum. Like, that is what I love about travel, is you just never know what you're going to run into. But anyways, guys, I know it's probably been a long video, and but don't worry, a couple days we'll be back with part 2 of this little van trip, mine and Kevin's van trip. I guess he laid back down. We'll be exploring some more tomorrow, hoping for a little better weather. And yeah, guys, thanks for showing up and hanging out with me. And until next time, guys, take care of yourselves and each other, and I love you. Bye-bye.